had a rubber band, I should have paid the flipping in, but
How many times is it done?
it's rust.
Oh, there we go,
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There we go.
6:05 PM, we'll call the meeting to order. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the regular meeting of the Dayton Planning Board for Wednesday, December 18th, 2019. Just as a reminder, this is a public meeting being video and audio recorded for cable broadcasts on, and also for broadcasting on YouTube. So, if everyone would stand, please, and join us in the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chairman, I'm going to make a motion to confirm the next meeting date of January 15th of 2020.
I will second that motion.
Okay, that is the second Wednesday of the month, since third Wednesday, since New Year's falls on the first Wednesday. Okay, so that would be the third, January 15th. So confirmed. First order of business is to discuss and act on the kennel bylaw. We've been discussing this now for at least a couple, 3 meetings. And from the comments that were made, I have made some adjustments to it. The last one being which commercial kennel would be allowed on the old language, at least 5 or more acres of land. And from the discussion, that has been reduced to 2. And there was some discussion regarding operations within somebody in the industrial district or the industrial overlay district rather. And wording has been added to, which reads, this includes, wait a minute, small, right after where it says 2 acres of land or a commercial establishment, small parcels may be considered in the industrial overlay district. Meaning if somebody wants to open up a shop within one of the mills that's in that district, they could, and the acre doesn't apply, so. So if there's any further discussion on this one? Okay, then I would entertain a motion to recommend that this be placed on the town meeting warrant to the Board of Selectmen.
You'll have to have a public hearing first.
What's that?
You'll have to have a public hearing.
Correct.
So before we put it on the warrant, you have to have a public hearing first. Then we put it on.
I'm
the
getting ahead of
warrant.
myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll, I guess we want a motion that we have.
I'll make a motion to have a public hearing on the kennel bylaw.
Second.
Any motions made and seconded, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Okay. Anytime prior to, we have plenty of time.
Yes.
Just want to get this one out of the way.
Okay.
Where are we here? Next item was the Route 44 business corridor. I don't know if it's in your packet or not, but it's,
I did put a revised one in there.
okay. Oh, we didn't get a line, huh? Presently, the business zone along Route 44 from the Taunton line to the Holbrook line extends 300 to 350 feet out from the center of the road. There's some prime property up on 44 that has sufficient frontage, but the bulk of the property is further on up. Actually, the first 2 parcels that are in yellow. And there's another parcel that's owned by someone that also could be interested in some business activity up there. So what we were trying to do is extend the business district out from the center of the road north 1,000 feet, which would pick up a lot of available property. And if that's passed, we would call that the Route 44 Business Corridor for purposes of designating what could go there. And in the table of use violations, I've been doing too many violations. Table of use regulations in our zoning bylaws, we could identify what activities could take place within the Route 44 Business Corridor. So, I didn't put it together for the south side, because there's quite a few residences down there. And it goes into a subdivision, and so that's something to consider.
Sorry, everybody. Joe?
As a matter of fact, the 1,000 feet figure is something that Joe Figurito, since he just walked in, had talked about in the first place. Joe, we're talking about the Route 44 business zone.
Okay.
And you had mentioned 1,000 feet. So, are there any thoughts on what we want to do? Or do we want to, I guess let me start, do we want to do the south side of 44 also?
Just so you know, on your next page, Tom, is the measurement of the 1,000 feet.
Oh, is that the,
Yeah,
Now, if we want to, I'll just show Joe quickly, if we want 1,000 feet back
Oh,
in
yeah.
the center of the road here, we end up
I
right
tried to make
around here
copies,
in the
but it was
property.
very
So what
hard
we're
to
gonna do is run a
see.
straight line all the
making
way
the
down.
copies, so that's why I figured you could
1,000
just
feet.
share, just show.
Does the 1,000 feet,
you got a line?
These two companies probably don't, but I just made the measure.
Tom, does the 1,000 feet from center line supersede an overlay district?
From the center of the road, you say?
We don't have an overlay district here yet.
Right, but I mean, could we do an overlay rather than extend
Do the same
the
thing down there, wherever you wanna be.
1,000 feet?
Well,
or-
yeah, but the problem, I think, we don't have,
No,
we have
why
to
not?
create an overlay district. for
Right.
it.
Okay.
The industrial overlay district we had,
You do,
just did a couple years back.
Yeah.
The purpose of that one was to put a
Piece of paper?
business
Usually just take the-
Okay.
use on top of industrial use.
Okay.
Just run it right.
So we, our town administrator thought we could just simply do an industrial overlay, but we can't
Okay.
That would give us.
because of the language of the definition.
Okay.
So I spoke with the Jim Agia,
Mhm.
and I was running it by him, if we just identified, what's the easiest thing for people to understand? So if we were to just expend the business district out of 1,000 and call this area the Route 44 Business Corridor,
Business corridor, okay.
then we could identify what uses are allowed in there.
Okay.
Yeah, reveal the size.
It could be, you know, the underlying district here is business, so you could have business, you could have light industrial if you
Yep.
desire. We could have marijuana cultivations.
Okay.
We would just say that marijuana cultivation would be allowed in the,
Route 44 corridor.
correct.
Okay.
I'd have to run that by legal, but I think, and Tim and I talked about it today,
Yep.
and we kind of feel that that would be appropriate and would pass muster
Okay.
with legal, but, I have a line drawn if you wanna
Yeah, good.
kind of check it out. I
It's a
tried to
rough
make one
estimate.
today.
You can see the, kind of hard to see, but that would be 1,000 feet there.
Okay. Just on the north side.
We could extend out the south side, but I think that, you know, there's probably more opportunities on the north side
Oh, I agree with
for
that.
development,
Yeah.
if we were to take a ride up there. Zeke owns quite a bit of property up there
Yeah.
along that 44 route. There's another guy, I can't think of his name right now. He's also a developer in town, or.
Mariano?
Bill Mariano.
Oh, yeah,
has a
yeah,
good piece
okay.
of property up there. And as I said, Zeke's owns quite a bit,
Yeah.
so. It's just something to consider, because in the interim between meetings, I'm gonna try to draft up some better language.
Okay.
So if there's any thoughts right now, but other than that, I think Valerie's looking for us to get this on the annual town meeting, so.
And so, I don't know if it would be wise right now, but I will make a motion to, take this under advisement until our next meeting, so we can, do a little more investigative research on, possible homes that are on that stretch, and to see how far that, we'd like to extend the district, and to put any terminology together and send it out to the attorneys to make sure our wording is correct.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So that's gonna be,
Okay.
to
That was a perfect.
basically have a working session, to continue to do further research on this proposed business corridor and to get, and put together any terminology and send it along to our attorneys to make sure our wording is correct.
Yeah, for those of you who wanna try to look at this at home, we no longer have Map Geo. We have something now called Oliver that you
That's
can look at.
temporary, that's temporary.
Oh, is
They're
it?
just using that in the interim until our mapping system, which I can't remember the name of it.
So how do we get that? We just,
Oliver
just-
dot,
Net?
Oliver GIS.
Yeah, Oliver GIS.
If you Google.
Dayton Oliver GIS?
No, if you just Google Oliver GIS,
Huh?
then it'll,
And it asks for the location and the
Yeah.
search, area, and then just,
Because what happens is you get the major map of the state of Mass and you can just zero in and
Yeah.
just expand it.
Oh, you've seen it already?
Yeah,
or you
expand
can
it.
plug
were
in
over
the
there today?
address to it. You
Okay.
can plug in like your home address and it'll bring you into it.
you can take a ride up there, see the properties. We got like another, almost a month before our next meeting, so.
Yeah, with Mr. Woods and I, you know, we can do a run through of that area, you know, I can, bring some paper along and target, you know, how many houses are up on, either side that we have not, already targeted it already. And then, you know, just be a working session where we just, you know, gathering information, so. I don't know if
Okay.
Mr. Woods would be available for that, so.
Will be available after the first of the year.
If he's feeling better.
I ready, sir. Absolutely.
Gotta do my
Good to get better first.
So are we all in favor of that motion?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, yeah, yeah.
Okay, also within there is a, we discussed an act of 2020 meeting calendar.
So I took into account, basically, obviously, January first was a holiday, so I obviously did not put that on the calendar. And like we did last year, I didn't put into consideration of the summer schedule as of yet. We usually didn't do that until we get closer to the summer.
Right, and see what's on the agenda.
Yeah, and then as you'll note, September second, I put to be determined because September first is Labor Day. You usually wait until we get closer to that day as well. But as of the 2020 calendar, all of these dates are the first and third Wednesdays of the month.
Okay.
And they'll be revised if we need to revise them
Yes,
anyways.
yeah,
Just
so
for
like I said.
Informational purposes.
Yeah, mostly for informational and for us to be able to update the calendar,
Okay.
for our meetings calendar, and for, any future applicants that are looking to schedule anything. They
Okay.
at least have some type of timeline.
Well, I have something too. It's getting to be almost budget season, and I'm sure that they're gonna be looking for our budget. And you all remember what they tried to do to us last year by reducing our salary and then increasing our workload by asking us to go to all these other seminars and workshops, and other committees that I belong to because I'm on the planning board.
I don't think that the finance committee or the board of selectmen take any of that into consideration. So, we may need to at least discuss what our salaries are gonna be next year. If they're gonna want us to work more, then they should have to pay us more. Because if you look around the town, everyone else who says they're working more is getting paid a whole lot more. And they like to pick on the small departments such as us, the ZBA, and who else were they picking on, the assessors?
Any board that was not full-time for the most part.
Right, and you know, some of these full-timers got huge increases. You know, for instance, Joe just went to a workshop the other day, everybody in that workshop was making $35 an hour, and Joe made 0. And he was there all day.
Yeah,
Okay, they invited me to the same meeting and I refused. You know, you wanna cut my pay, but you want me to work more. That's all I'm saying. You know, I was born at night, but not last night.
maybe we could, well, we can discuss it, but maybe we could discuss something like when you go to a seminar, that you be given some type of salary.
Well,
Sort of stipend or something.
I ran into that problem years ago, as you recall, when I was a veterans agent, where they said that they were gonna pay me for some training that I went to. And then they said, no, you're a salaried employee, so they couldn't give me any more. So, it's very touchy. So I think maybe,
Well, us being a part-time.
yeah, I think maybe we should ask for maybe a 10% increase. Right?
Okay, well,
Hey, they might knock it down to 3%, but you
Yeah.
gotta aim high.
It's not high, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
that's right.
If the, our negotiations.
Not that I'm looking to get rich on the planning board, I think they give us $155 a month. And I get phone calls and emails daily. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Not looking to get rich.
Understood.
Well,
You know.
we're not in it for the money, you know?
Right.
That's for sure.
I'll second that.
Okay, that's all I have on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's noted.
Office manager vacation request. This is from Jerry Easterday, office manager for the planning board. Regarding, I respectfully request to take vacation from December 23rd through January 2nd, 2020. Please note, I anticipate checking emails and voicemails daily. Your consideration is greatly appreciated. Now, as you were just speaking, she doesn't need to do that, she's on vacation,
Right,
so,
she's a union employee.
yeah. Anyway, is there a motion to grant?
I will make a motion to grant our office manager their vacation request from December 23rd through January 2nd, 2020.
I'll second.
The motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
Thank you very
You're on
much.
vacation, there you go, it's already signed.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
We were hopeful. And the last item, under the regular business, is a report on MEMA Municipal Vulnerability Plan and Hazard Mitigation Plan. Did you go to that one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I just want to report to the board, Mr. Chairman, to the planning board members, that on December 4th of 2019, I participated in Dayton's Climate Resilience Building Workshop. This workshop was to prioritize Dayton's most urgent needs in regards to our living within the Taunton River watershed and our tributaries which flow into the Taunton River itself. Climate change affects this important resource. During this workshop, we targeted several areas in town, for instance, the lower end of Main Street, Dayton Rye Park, Pleasant Street, Lincoln Village, etc. The information gathered by the working group will be incorporated into the first draft summary of the Community Resilience Building Workshop report, and the report draft will be made available by the town, and a listening session will be held, at which time the findings and prioritized actions will be presented and discussed. This workshop is an avenue to many grants that are available for such important items in regards to this area. The seminar or workshop was delivered by Mr. Arnold Robinson, the Regional Planning Director of Fuss & O'Neill from Providence, Rhode Island. What this does is this would open us up to many grants that are out there regarding replacing and repairing seawalls, replacing and repairing any dams that we have in town, Areas that were targeted, as I say, were Dayton Rock Park, and that's been a low-lying area for many years. But the problem is down there, we discussed, is that it's private, and that those people, when you tell them to leave, and even in the lower end of Main Street, they just won't leave. And they're trying to rectify that problem. Now, I'll just say this very quickly, is that I was shocked and amazed, and I'm sure you gentlemen will be as we sit here, is that Lincoln Village, our elderly housing development, okay, does not have a generator that will power all of those units if that power ever goes down in that facility, okay? So that's I think gonna be a highly specific targeted area that maybe this municipal vulnerability grant would purchase a generator, that type of thing, but it was very informative. They plan to meet again and have a report ready and sent to the town by January of 2020. So when they do have their next workshop, I will be attending, and we'll give another report to the board at the meeting. So I will present this information that I discussed in this report for the record.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to accept the report as read?
So moved.
Second. Yeah, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'm going to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of our November 2019 meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of November 20. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. And lastly, we have correspondence. We have 3 lengthy ones, at least 1 lengthy one. All from policies from the town of Dayton. The first one here is the social media policy for town employees for town purposes. The thing is 5 pages long, so I would appreciate it if you have a moment, stop by the office to read it. And the next one is the tobacco and smoke-free workplace policy. Basically, no smoking in the building or in any town-owned vehicle. And I believe it's 10 feet from the back of the building over here, yep. But it's 3 pages long. I would invite you to also stop by and read that one in the office. And the last one is personnel records policy. And is your right to examine your personnel record and receive a copy. Probably need an appointment to do this. But again, it's a couple of pages long. If you're interested in reviewing your personal records, I would stop by and avail yourself of that one also. And then most places I know you need a appointment with the records office to review them. And lastly, Peter Benby got a beacon, so we can forward that to him. That'll be in office also if someone wants to take a peek at it. MMA annual trade show's coming up January 24th. That's kind of interesting, but it's in Boston. It's 2 days long. So anyway, information is in the office also. Any public input? No public. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
A motion made and seconded to adjourn. It is 6:30 p.m. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you, Cable. Have a good night. Merry Christmas, everyone.